Hello, guys. I want to talk about something very interesting, and that is the fact that there's a difference between growth and progress. A big difference between growth and progress. Growth is about size and statistics. Progress is about value. You can have a growing business, yet the business is not making progress because there's a big difference between growth and progress. A child can grow up but might not make progress because progress is different from growth. A country can grow. A country like Nigeria, for example, the government can come out many times and say, we have grown here and we have grown there. They'll give you a lot of statistics, but there is no progress because growth is different from progress. Growth is about statistics. Progress is about value. A country can claim to grow its GDP, to grow its infrastructure, but it might not translate to quality or better quality of life for its citizens because growth is different from progress. Another example I can give to you is in the business world. For example, Meta as a company has announced a lot of growth over the years, but right now they are falling out in the AI race. So as far as the future of where technology is going, which is AI, they are falling behind. But if you ask them now, they're growing, probably growing their revenue, but they're falling behind in terms of progress. And what is going to happen over time is that it's going to catch up with them. If you grow and you do not progress, it's over time, it's going to catch up with you. And so you must learn to understand the difference between growing and progression. Somebody can go to the treadmill and do, 10, 20, 100 runs. It doesn't mean it's covering any distance. It's just running on a mill. But somebody else can start from a location and move 100 kilometers. That person has made more progress than the other guy because the other guy is just running a spot. Progress is a function of goal. It's a function of vision. So the question is not how much you're growing. The question is how closer are you to your vision? How closer are you to your goals? And that is the real metric that we must use to measure anything in life. If a child is growing up, the real growth is how closer the child is getting to the goal, the set goal. The real growth for a country is how close the country is getting to a better quality of life for its citizens. So growth is totally different from progress. So you have to ask yourself, talk to yourself, ask yourself, am I growing or am I making progress? Am I just having statistics or am I actually getting closer to my vision? I've worked with a lot of businesses over the years and I can tell you for free that I've seen companies grow but make very little progress. Very little progress. And part of the reason for that is because a lot of times people seek validation. People make validation the most important thing for them. And if you're all you seek, or if the major thing that you seek is validation, you're going to see yourself pursuing statistical growth, but very little progress. So forget about the statistics. Look closely at the actual progression towards your set goals. And that's why you have to reevaluate yourself every time and make sure that you're actually getting to your goals and not just scrolling. Because there are people that just wake up, that just come and say, oh, that guy is doing well. Why is he doing well? He has bought a car. But is that really the goal? Is that really the vision? Is that really where the person is going to? You can buy a car and the car can become a liability to you. You can buy a car today and the car will hamper your progress. I used to have a friend that literally sleeps in his car. He literally sleeps in the car. He had a BMW 7 Series back then. Very, very big car at the time. But he was sleeping in his car. He had no apartment to live in. His clothes were in his boots. So outwardly, for those who don't really know him, he was growing. He just bought a BMW 7 Series. So he's growing. But I knew him personally and I knew that he was not growing. He was not, or rather you could say he was growing, but he was not making much progress. If you're working 60-hour weeks just to keep your business from falling apart, you don't have a time problem. You have a systems problem. I have built a free 2-minute operational freedom analyzer that will instantly diagnose exactly where your business is breaking and tell you how to fix it. Stop letting your business run you. Click the provided link below. Take the 90-second quiz and let's build a powerful system that's right for you. One thing you have to understand about growth and progress is that a lot of times growth is accidental. Growth is accidental or random. But progress is intentional. Progress is intentional because you have to, it's like somebody running a race. okay, or somebody that plays golf. He has to walk to the hole, look at the hole very well, walk back, try to measure it, try to target it before he takes his swing. That is how progress works. You have to be intentional to make progress. Growth can just happen. Growth can just happen. In fact, growth can be bestowed. You can just be lucky one day and somebody just gifts you something, maybe money, maybe a position, and yeah, that's growth. But real progress has to be intentional. And real progress is what can be sustained because there is a scientific process behind it. And it is repeatable. Real progress is repeatable. In fact, that's one of the ways you measure or you distinguish between growth and progress. Progress is something that is repeatable because there's a science behind it. There's a science, there's an actual science behind it. There is a sequence of activities or steps or actions that lead to it. And you can start from the beginning, replicate those actions, and get to the same destination over and over again. But growth, a child growing up doesn't really do much to grow. Just, okay, wake up, eat food. Growth just happens. But for the child to go to a university, they must intentionally go to a primary school, a secondary school, read, pass the exams, do the qualifying exams before they get to university. Very, very different scenario. So take a look at yourself and ask yourself, am I growing or am I making progress? Am I just growing randomly? Or am I just growing accidentally? Or am I deliberately making progress, intentionally making progress? And if you are not intentionally making progress, it means that you need a plan. You need a deliberate, definite plan. Don't wait for life to happen to you randomly. Don't wait for life to happen to you accidentally. Be intentional about it. Have a goal, have a plan, have a process. I'm going to do another video where I'm going to explain how to create a process for progress. And let me tell you something about progress. It's only you, most of the time, that can really tell if you are making progress. Everyone externally might not be able to tell. They might see you and think you are growing. It's only you that will be able to tell yourself that you might be growing, but you're not actually making progress because you know your real goals. You know your real vision. You know your real intentions. And so you can actually do an assessment of yourself and tell if you're actually making progress. So make that assessment for yourself now and evaluate yourself and make sure that you are on a journey to progress. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. In fact, progress doesn't always happen overnight. Like I said, it's intentional. So make that assessment today and watch out for my next video because I'm going to teach how to create a progress system. A progress system. Something that can be scientific and repeatable and simple. Thank you.